Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having an adult beverage, and tonight I'll be discussing The Wildflower by J.L. Beck. I do have this beautiful omnibus of the duet. This is book 2 in the series, and you do have to read them in order, but I did read the version off of KU. Of course, I'm giving my honest opinion. Here are the highlights and the content warnings. And my rating for this book is a 4.25, so what's it about? So this book continues the story of Maybelle, who has a lot going on. Her mother, who is the most important person in her life, just passed away. And if that wasn't enough, she finds out she has not one but two brothers. One who says he will do whatever he can to keep her safe, and the other is none other than Drew, the man that she has been dating. Without her mother there to help her figure out what is true or false, she is left lost and unsure of who to trust, especially after Drew shattered her heart, leaving her broken and humiliated. But even as much as she hates him, there is a dark and twisted side of her that still craves him as much as he craves her, but it is still all too much for her, and she tries to run. But something she should have remembered is that there is nothing Drew loves more than chasing her down. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 4.25. Now, I thought this was a fun way to close out this duet. Again, this is the second book in the series, and you do have to read them in order. So if you haven't read book 1, you may want to skip this review, as there may be some spoilers for book 1. Now, this book takes off right where book 1 ended. So we now have to deal with the big reveal that Maybelle is not only the sister to Sebastian, but also Drew. Now, for Drew, he doesn't really care, because now he realizes how much Belle means to him, to the point where all he is thinking about how they are meant to be together, and they will get back together, to where he's even thinking about marriage and babies with her. And it took on an air of delusion that personally I enjoyed, because I am always about men who are obsessed with their women past the point of reason. Now with Maybelle, she has a lot going on, especially with the loss of her mother. So you're very sympathetic to her, especially when she falls into a very understandable depressive episode. But we still get moments of fire from her that we had seen in book 1. So I did enjoy that. I will say, however, I wish that had been a little bit more consistent, or at least that there had been more motivation on her part to figure out the truth about her and what is truly going on. Now, when it comes to the tension, the chemistry, and the spice between Belle and Drew, I definitely enjoyed it, and it had me turning those pages. So much so, I would say a large focus of this book is on their relationship, rather than a drive to figure out the plot points that were revealed as it pertained to how everyone is possibly related. Even though Sebastian, who is the brother to Belle, might have all the answers, but Belle is giving him space to grieve the mother that he never really knew, as well as he has a lot going on in his life. Even though she is possibly dating her brother, she's not really motivated or pushing him for those answers. And I will say that's one area where I felt a little disappointed, because that was revealed at the end with some other things, and a whole lot of chaos was going on, that it felt a little convoluted. And because it was the end of the book, we were just meant to accept the answers that, for me personally, didn't feel like everything was ironed out. If I had to give a comparison, I would say it felt like a Jerry Springer episode with all the chaos and drama, but we just accept the answers because the episode's about to end. Overall, though, I still really did enjoy the romance and the relationship in this book, and I did enjoy, and I do plan to read the spin-offs, which are on other characters that were introduced in this book, so I would recommend this series, and I hope you give it a try, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.